quick update on what's happening in the world. On a market update, we essentially kick the can down the road with all these government shutdowns as they signed a last-minute deal to delay any shutdowns, well, for at least 45 days, so I guess we're just going to deal with that in November. Now, with reference to mortgage interest rates, the last-minute deal relatively did nothing for rates as they've been sticking around the 7.5% range for the time being. Now, this week, we've got a big jobs week. We get a jobs report and about 3 or 4 different reports on job creations and job losses. Now, I know this is going to sound bad, and I've talked about this before, but we need to get inflation under control and to start to see a drop in mortgage interest rates. And the only way we do that is by seeing a slowing down of the economy, which translates, unfortunately, to job losses and people spending less money. Do not expect rates to drop, but there's always going to be a risk of them getting bumped up a little bit. Now, next week, we've got the CPI report, which hopefully provides a little bit of relief with rates. If we show a weakening of the economy through the jobs report and inflation coming under control with the CPI report. What am I excited about this week? Now, even though I'm not a native Michigander, I can appreciate a good college rivalry. In a couple of weeks, we'll be hosting a tailgate party as a part of our continuation of Hump Days with Highlands. Now, this is happening October 18th from 3:30 to 5:30. It's a tailgate style party, and we're hosting it at our office. So we'll have drinks there, some tailgate food, fun games and everything to play, and lots of great networking. Simply click on the banner there and get registered. What book am I reading? My Own Worst Enemy by Alan Nelson. Now, I can't be the only person that is self-critical, and I can beat myself up pretty good on a regular basis. I constantly put myself down and carrying the guilt and shame from the past. Now, I'm not saying that this book is a cure-all, but it can give you some tools and tricks, and it can help change the way you're thinking and stop that negative self-talk that you've come accustomed to. What am I watching? I talked last week about the Lions, so we'll keep that combo going. They ended September 3-1, and while October does not bring in any fellow NFC North opponents, it's going to be a pivotal month. They do travel to Tampa Bay and Baltimore, which will be a true test. The Lions have been the darling of the NFL, the lovable team that everyone is pulling for. And if they want to keep the positive publicity going on, then they need to look at being at the end of October being 6-2. What am I listening to? Now, some of you may know that a good buddy and I, we started a podcast at the beginning of 2023. And while it was short-lived, we only put out like 3 episodes before we had to pause it. Life happened and I really enjoyed it. And here we are in October, and there's not a lot of intention of picking it back up after this, basically an 8-month sabbatical. So I'm looking to get it ramped up again. So I'm taking in all things podcast related. Now, here's a video that I saw recently, and it goes more into the proper mindset and thought process for starting a show rather than just the technical aspects of which microphone to use or how to edit or which platform or whatever. Now, Pat Flynn, the creator of this video, he has a lot of great videos on YouTube, mostly centered around podcasting tips and tricks. What I just bought? Now, while I didn't just buy one, I do often get questions about my cowboy hats. And I currently have a couple Stetson hats that I absolutely love. Now, cowboy hats are kind of like every other clothing item. When you find one that fits a certain way and you like it, well, you usually stay with it. And maybe it's just me, but the name Stetson, the aura that it carries, or maybe it's a craftsmanship. It just fits me great, and I don't think it looks too bad either. Maybe you're thinking about rocking a cowboy hat. Send me a message, and I can help find you. I can help find someone to help you get fitted. And lastly, if you are not a part of our private realtor social media group that's on Facebook, just let me know. I'll send you an invite. It's not a bunch of spammy stuff. We're not selling anything. There's no recruiting or anything like that. Just tips, tricks, calendars on how to grow and level up your game on social media. We'll see you next week.